Good morning and welcome to the 2022 University of Florida Homecoming Parade. I'm Shawn.Humphrey.
And I'm Ophelia Jacobson. We are so excited to have you here with us this morning.
So to start off, the future of sports media, when you all hear that, what does it mean to you?
A few weeks ago, the quest for a perfect March Madness bracket began for millions across the United States.
Can you tell me about your temporary tattoo? I love it.
Oh, you love it?
Yeah.
I forgot it was there.
All right, Seth. Let's start off with the Oakland Athletics ownership.
Stop right now, or you're fired!
You know what? If you can't hang with the big dogs, move into a different kennel.
At the same time, you can never really kill print because writing is such an important skill in journalism in general. So where have you all seen print continue to have an importance in this line of work?
The Jags protected their house well. Doug Peterson's squad put the Colts into a dustpan and sent their division rivals home with a donut. 24-0 Duval.
And Seth, Aaron Rodgers.
I gotta stop. This fight's finished. I gotta call it.
Does Aaron Rodgers even want to play football? I'm really not sure about it. What I've seen with this man over the past few years, I don't know if I want to play football. I don't really want to be a Packer. I guess I'll be a Packer. If you pay me $40 million, I might be forced to throw a football. He didn't have a great season last year, and now he is, hot take, and I know this is a segment full of hot takes, he's at best the fifth best quarterback in the AFC.
Number 3, Florida Gators baseball continued its tear by winning its 9th straight series this weekend. Florida waxed the rival Georgia Bulldogs 11-6 in Sunday's rubber match. The red-hot orange and blue are now 30-7 this season. This one wasn't without controversy. Gators reliever Brandon Neely was pumped after a crucial strikeout to end the 7th. The umpire would promptly end his afternoon. He tells him hit the road. The fans aren't happy, neither is Jack Caglione. Grand salami, his second home run of the game. No celebration, sticking it to the man. Gags. 21 homers this season. Neely suspended 4 games after the ejection. Florida is expected to appeal. The Gators will host FAMU on Tuesday. Gators gymnastics had a chance to avenge its loss to defending national champion Oklahoma and win its first title since 2015. Unfortunately, Florida would end its season the national runner-up for a second consecutive year. But a bittersweet night for Trinity Thomas and the orange and blue still ended in historic fashion for the super senior. Thomas competed in just 2 events after injuring her leg during the NCAA regionals. But her vault performance was flawless. With her 28th perfect score, Thomas tied the all-time record for perfect 10s. It was far from the ending she had imagined, but Thomas remained grateful for her experience and her team.
This isn't how I wanted things to go, but sometimes things don't go your way, and that's okay. And luckily, I have the best support system, family, friends, teammates, coaches, that have really helped me. So just like fighting through it, regardless of my personal goals, for them, because at the end of the day, like, it's more than gymnastics.
Florida finished just 1/10 of a point behind the Sooners. Gators lacrosse has been on fire as of late. The team hadn't lost in nearly a month before this Saturday's tilt with East Carolina, and they made those Pirates walk the plank. Florida scored early and often against ECU. Emma Lopinto finished with a hat trick, 10-5 Florida. The Gators have won 6 in a row. Number 15, Gator softball dropped its series finale to the rival Georgia Bulldogs. The team still picked up the series win to push its record to 31-11. The Gators just above 500 in SEC play. They'll play a doubleheader against USF on Wednesday. Florida men's basketball's head coach Todd Golden has been active in the transfer portal. This weekend, the Gators added former Seton Hall big Tyrese Samuel. The Montreal native joins the team as a graduate transfer. He averaged 11 points for the Pirates last season and started in all 33 games. Florida has added plenty of height to the 2023-24 team, the Gainesville Giants. 6 players standing taller than 6'8" have joined the roster. With forward Alex Fudge officially declaring for the draft today, there will be no shortage of size to replace him.
The Gainesville Police Department placed 2 officers on paid administrative leave in the wake of the department releasing body camera footage of a canine attack on a suspect. That suspect, a 30-year-old Terrell Bradley, lost his eye at the result of a dog bite.
WUFT's Shawn.Humphrey spent much of his day reviewing the footage and the facts of the case. He joins us now in the studio. Shawn?
The footage is vivid. You can hear Bradley screaming in agony at moments during the video after the German Shepherd was released. Police said they initially pulled him over for a traffic violation. Again, I want to warn you, this footage is intense.
Do me a favor. Just hop out.
According to police reports, Terrell Bradley, who you see in the driver's side of this vehicle, was pulled over because he ran a stop sign while driving out of an apartment complex. There was not a stop sign at the complex, but by law, drivers are supposed to stop. According to the report, the officer notices what he calls a plastic bag with a green leafy substance. At this point, it is 10:42 p.m. The officer asked Bradley to get out of the car for officer safety. Stop. Bradley gets out. He runs. The officer follows but doesn't catch him. Bradley hides for an hour. During that time, officers search the vehicle. At 11:26, the footage shows the K-9 team on the scene. The K-9 finds Bradley at 11:27.
Hey. Show me your hands, bro. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Come out to me. Come out to me.
Immediately, Bradley begins to plead with the officer to stop the dog.
Out to me. Nice to meet you, bro.
Bradley continues to scream and tells the officers the dog bit out his eye and bit his finger off.
He ripped my finger. Ow, bro.
3 minutes after the dog attack, officers tell Bradley EMS is on the way.
As a result of this investigation, we discovered some conduct that we don't think measures up to the standard of the Gainesville Police Department from our officers. And that has nothing to do with the apprehension itself. It has nothing to do directly with Mr. Bradley's apprehension, but it reflects poorly in some decision making that we had a couple of officers make. As a result of that, we have removed a couple of officers from the line of duty, suspended them with leave until we finish our investigative process.
Officers charged Bradley with 5 felony counts, 2 counts of possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, 1 count of resisting an officer with violence, larceny, grand theft of a firearm, and carrying a concealed unlicensed firearm. He was charged with 1 misdemeanor possession of marijuana as well.
12 years ago, Bradley was convicted of unarmed robbery, a felony. Gainesville Police Chief Lonnie Scott said he released this video along with the independent report and the Internal Affairs report for transparency. He said the investigation revealed some questionable conduct by officers not directly related to Bradley's arrest. He described it as officers ragging each other, laughing about losing a shoe, and listing the wrong name of the complex. He says the department will conclude the investigation within the next 2 weeks, and he will reveal what, if any, action those officers will face.
Yeah. And what did you do? What did you do?
I navigated my room. I went to sleep for longer than I'm able to during the work week. It's just too cold for the first day after spring break. That's okay with me.
Is.
And while today may be the first day of spring, of course it doesn't feel like it. I'll tell you more about that after the break. But I am tracking a warm-up. Find out when highs could get back into the 80s when we come back. Those temperatures tonight show us there's a chance of frost up in the northwestern part of the Florida Panhandle. Live Oak showing us 39 degrees and forecasted lows of 36 degrees in Perry, but right here in Gainesville, 42 degrees up to 54 and 53 degrees on the East Coast from St. Augustine down to Daytona. Those 3-part forecasts will show you those temperatures dropping to the high 50s. Around 1 a.m. we start approaching the lows for tonight, and there is a slight chance of rain around 5 p.m. this evening, but those chances will be decreasing as we get into the latter parts of the evening.